Hi guys, and welcome back to another DrAce video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21, and it's time for the Misano World Circuit of Marco Simoncelli, the final round of our MotoE Championship, and it's raining for the San Marino GP. So it's practice time. We have the wetsuit on because the heavens have indeed opened, and the situation is very, very glum right now, and I'm a little bit rusty with MotoE, to be truly honest with you. I have been playing a lot of MotoGP at the minute, and I just recorded, just moments ago, the video you've probably already watched on Monday, which was my Fabio Quartararo Misano Grand Prix discussion and chat about the race recap of Emilia-Romagna. So I'm a little bit rusty because I've not been on wet weather for a while, and I've also not played MotoE in a while, so let's see how we get on. Up in the first sector, just by 77 thousandths per second down for Mikel Pons. But I don't feel my best, I'll be honest with you. I'm running in power setting 2 at the minute. The acceleration is much different with the MotoE machines compared to the MotoGP bikes, of course. So for the time being, just being quite gentle going into Querci, just being quite gentle with it. I don't really feel that good with this motorcycle right now, but it's nice to see a bit of rain, because of course we haven't had much rain in MotoE this season, so we'll see if the race is going to be wet as well. But for the time being, not looking too bad. I certainly don't feel as good as I was, but I'm going to be trying to trend in the positive direction as we now go onto the right hand side, entering Cavone for the final round here for the final MotoGP or MotoE race in this MotoGP 21 career mode, or the championship mode of course. So now into 13, I ran it completely deep and onto the green, so this lap will probably not count. Surprisingly, it still does. I expected the invalidated lap to come up by now, but for the time being, we're still good. So onto the left-hand side, we'll go for turn 15. Turn 16 to be navigated now. A little bit of a slippy surface into 15. You see many riders crash there as well in the Grand Prix on Sunday. So bring on the acceleration for Misano into the final corner. Across the line we will go. We're going to get a 1:57.37, so just under 0.3 of a second down from Mikel Pons' time as we go into turn 1, and just will lose the front. Oh, I kind of felt it going. I really tried to respond, but unfortunately we dropped the Energica Ego machine. The new world champion hasn't been as good as he once was before fighting for the championship. A few mistakes have been made, of course crashing at the end of the previous Grand Prix, and now here crashing at the start of this qualifying session. And, in fact, another man has just gone down behind me there as well. Not entirely sure who that was in this practice session, but for the time being, Ego in the acceleration as well. Look at the rear tyre just glowing red. Really struggling in these damp conditions here in Misano. Very, very treacherous conditions for the riders to face right now. Looks like the AI doing a grand job, but we are not doing so good. The rear tyre just keeps slipping all over the place. I might have even considered dropping it down to power setting 1. This is not that good. A sharp intake of breath is pretty much all I can say right now, as Pons and Cassadai are ahead of me by 0.2 of a second. And speaking of Mikel Pons, he's just dropped the front as well, so something has happened to the LCR man. Not entirely sure where he has just crashed, and not like it really affects our lap anyway. 20.5 seconds down from our crash into turn 1. Picking up the bike and dusting off the water, we are straight back onto it, but look how much we are struggling on the brakes. That is where I seem to be really struggling the most. On the rear tyre, just keeps glowing red. Whether we're going to change to the medium tyre or not, I don't think that's a good idea. Just got to try and fight through it. Very tough situation for us being right now. Hopefully the race isn't wet, because I'm not looking too promising. Our win streak is over, by the way, of course, as you know. 5 wins out of the 6. Can we make it 6 out of 7? I guess that's going to be damage limitations, but on the right hand side for Caro for 14. I tell you what, I've just realised something. We've had 6 out of 6 E-pole positions. Is that streak coming to an end as well? If it's going to be wet, I very much doubt we're going to get that pole position, as Mikel Pons has just crashed for a second time in this session. An absolute nightmare of stuff for Mikel Pons. He is, however, leading the practice session, so it's not all doom and gloom, I guess, but across the line we will go to start our 3rd lap. The 2nd lap was a disaster going into turn 1. Much, much better this time, as we now go into the left-hand side for turn 2. Torres is ahead of us, also taking it rather easy with the wetsuit on. So now into Variante del Parco for turn 3. Can we get into the rear of Jordi Torres and pick up a much-needed slipstream? The rear tyre glowing red once more as we go into Rio for turn 4. Can we just sort of navigate the machine around this corner? We can, going into turn 5, and now for the left-hander for turn 6. A sector we were so strong in the Grand Prix just yesterday, and half a second down to Mikel Pons' time, so it's not going to be an improvement unless we can really conjure something up going into the fall towards the end of the stages. So now on the left-hand side, braking very late for Quirky onto the left-hand side, and we've been the bike once again. Practice session over for Grant. That is a disaster. Yoni Hernandez leads the way, and quite usually does in the wet weather situations. Brilliant job for Hernandez. Mikel Pons in second, Aldeguer third, Casadei fourth, Grant in fifth, 4.5 tenths of a second down from the Colombian. So we now look at the e-pole session, and thank goodness for that, it has dried out. We have a chance of taking the e-pole number 7 out of 7. Let's see how we do. Let's see how we fare. On the right hand side we'll go for turn 1. Beautifully navigated for the left hand side now for turn 2. I have indeed swapped to a medium rear as well, because the soft rear in the qualifying session last time out and in the race proved to be a little bit fruity going into some of the corners when applying too much acceleration. But now into rear over 4, running a little bit too deep. Oh, is that going to be it? Is that the mistake that stops our pole position streak? We are down by 1/10 of a second. That's not too much. We may be able to recover this going into the next couple of corners, but we need to brake early for Quirky. Do not fall foul for the wet weather again. This time in the dry we're pretty good. Very, very confident going into Quirky. You see the difference between our braking under the wet compared to the wonderful dry line we've got right now. It's a bit cloudy. It's not as warm as it was. We're now onto the right side. Oh, by 1/8 of a second. Are you kidding me? Goodness me. That has absolutely flown up. I didn't see that coming whatsoever. Are we going to take e-pole number 7 of this magnificent MotoE season? The final e-pole, the final round. Is this going to be going to the way of the MotoGP and MotoE World Champion? On the right hand side for turn 12. Turn 13 coming up for Caro in a moment's time for 14. Can we get the job done? Hard braking for 14. Up by 1.5 seconds. Absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely outrageous. Wonderfully done for Grant right now. 15 we'll go for turn 16 in a moment. Can we get the job done as well? 16 it is. Left hand side dropping it down to 60 miles an hour. Bring on the acceleration. Bring on the wheelie. I don't even think a wheelie could stop us from taking e-pole. Across the line we will go. And it's e-pole position, but it's just 0.3 of a second. Oh, I got a little bit nervous there. I thought I might have actually blown this one. Well, I thought I'd try and keep it a little bit more alive than just winning all the practice sessions and qualifying. But there you go, guys. E-pole number 7 out of 7. Terrific job to end it on, but fortunately enough, we still have one more Grand Prix to go tonight at 8 PM. So if you enjoyed the video, guys, like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell to be alerted to every single DrAce upload. Thanks for watching, guys, and see you in the Grand Prix tonight at 8 PM. Ciao for now. Oh, hi. Didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite sate your appetite, then why not watch some more DrAce content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single DrAce video.